What would you do if the love of your life abandoned you and left you alone with two tiny babies? This is not just a story, it is a journey of pain, sacrifice, and triumph. A story of a father who refused to give up and twin daughters who never forgot the man who gave them everything. You don't want to miss a second of this powerful tale. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an inspiring story like this one. If this touches your heart, give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who needs a reminder that no struggle is ever wasted. Now, sit back, relax, and let us take you into the unforgettable story of Jide, Eva, and the daughters who changed everything. From the moment Eva walked into Jide's life, everything changed. She was beautiful, tall, with glowing brown skin and eyes that seemed to know how to ask for everything without saying a word. When Jide saw her for the first time at a wedding in Lagos, he felt like time stopped. He had never seen anyone like her before, and just like that, he was hooked up. At the time, Jide was doing well. He worked with a real estate company, had a car, a good apartment, and enough money to take care of his future wife. He didn't waste time. Within 1 year, Jide and Eva were married. People said they were the perfect couple, beauty and brains, charm and hard work. A year later, God blessed them with twin girls. Jide cried the day they were born. He held them in his arms and promised he would give them everything they would ever need. But life as we know it doesn't always go as planned. 3 months after the birth of the twins, everything started to change. The real estate market crashed and Jide lost his job. At first, he thought it was just temporary, but months passed and there was no new job. Bills started piling up. Rent was due, baby food, diapers, hospital checkups. The money kept going out, but nothing was coming in. The same woman who once smiled at Jide's silly jokes now rolled her eyes when he entered the room. She complained about everything. How the house was too hot, how she missed eating out, how she couldn't live like a poor woman. Jide tried. He really did. He picked up odd jobs, loading cement at construction sites, selling recharge cards by the roadsides, even cleaning people's houses just to buy milk and pampers for the twins. But to Eva, it wasn't enough. One day, after Jide returned home with sweat and dust covering his shirt, he met the house empty. No notes, no goodbye, just silence. Eva had left. She abandoned the twins, only 3 months old, for a life of comfort. She ran after rich men, claiming she deserved better. She said she couldn't suffer with a man who had no future. Jide wept that night like a baby, not because Eva left, but because of the 2 little girls sleeping beside him, hungry and innocent. Jide made a vow that night he would raise his girls alone. He would suffer if he had to. He would crawl if it came to that, but he would not let them suffer. He strapped both girls, Zara and Zina, to his chest every day and went out looking for work. He washed cars, carried bags at the market, even worked as a cleaner in a local hotel. People mocked him. Where is their mother? What kind of man carries babies to work? Now woman you be, but Jide didn't care. He fed them with whatever he had. Sometimes it was pap and granuts. Other times just warm water and prayers. At night, he sang lullabies to them, even when his stomach rumbled from hunger. And slowly the girls began to grow. Zara and Zina were bright, very bright. By age 4, they were already reading. Jide took them to a public school. When he couldn't pay their fees, he cleaned the school compound in exchange. The headmistress, a kind woman, noticed the twins' intelligence and offered scholarship to help them stay in school. When Zara and Zina got their first award in primary 4, Jide framed them with cheap cardboard and hung them in their small one-room house. Daddy, we will make you proud, they always said. And they did. Through secondary school, the twins continued to shine. Jide worked harder than ever, doing night shifts as a security guard and cleaning offices by day. Every extra kobo went into his daughter's books and uniform. People started to notice the girls. Teachers spoke about them. Churches invited them to speak. Even strangers donated money when they heard their story. Eventually, the twins got full scholarship to study at the university. Zara studied medicine. Zina studied engineering. Jide cried again, just like the day they were born. Success has come. Years passed. Zara became a doctor. Zina started her own tech company. The girls bought a house for their father, a brand new car, and even sent him on his first flight to Ghana, just because he once told them he would never left Nigeria. They never forgot their father's sacrifice. He became a hero in their eyes. Every interview, every speech, they mention his name. Our father is the reason we are who we are, they would say. And just like that, Jide became a proud father of two successful women. But that was not the end of the story. It was a Sunday morning. Jide was sitting in his new house, enjoying fresh fruit and watching TV, when he heard a knock at the gate. The security man came in. Oga, one woman there outside. She say her name na Eva. She say, make I tell you, say, she won't see you. The name hit Jide like cold water. Eva, the woman who left him and the girls after almost 25 years. He stood up slowly and walked to the gate. There she was. She looked nothing like the woman he married. Her beauty had faded. Wrinkles lined her face. Her eyes no longer sparkled. They looked tired, almost empty. She wore an old wrapped and dusty slippers. She looked broken. Jide, she whispered, eyes filling with tears. Please forgive me. Jide didn't speak. She fell to her knees. I have been suffering. Jide. The men I followed, they used me and dumped me. I have nothing. I am sick. I am alone. Please forgive me. Let me see my daughters. Let me just apologize to them. Zara and Zina had come out by then. They stood quietly behind their father. When Eva saw them, she burst into tears. My babies, look how big you are. I am sorry. I was stupid. I was blind. Please forgive me. Zara looked at her sister. Zina looked at their father. We forgave you a long time ago, but we cannot forget what Daddy went through for us. Zina added, he is the real parent we've ever known. We will honor you as our mother, but don't expect what you never gave. Eva bowed her head in shame. Jide stepped forward, helped her to her feet, and said, I forgave you the day you left. I just focus on my daughters. Life punished you already. I don't need to. They left her, stay in the guest room for a while. They fed her, clothed her, and helped her get medical care. But the love she once threw away was no longer hers. That belonged to Jide and Jide alone. Many years later, people still talked about the man who raised twin girls all by himself. The man who went from carrying cement to watching his daughters fly him around the world. The man who chose love, sacrifice, and patience over bitterness. Jide always said one thing to young men who came to him for advice. Don't give up because a woman left you. Build your life, raise your children, and don't ever be ashamed of your struggles. Sometimes it's the hard road that leads to glory. And Eva, she lived the rest of her life quietly, watching from a distance. What she could have had if only she had stayed. Life didn't give Jide comfort. It gave him a choice to give up or to fight. And he chose to fight with love, with sweat, and with silent tears no one saw. And in the end, that love came back to him multiplied. Sometimes the people who walked away from you are not meant to be part of your destiny, but the ones who stay, they build something beautiful with you. If this story moved you, please give it a like, leave a comment to share your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe for more real, touching stories just like this one. Until next time, stay strong, stay kind, and never underestimate the power of a father's love.